hasn't put a foot wrong yet, and we've seen Walker sideways a fair few times when I don't think he wanted to be. So at the moment I think Neil looks like the strongest rider out there.
Out of the dip then, up towards Park. That was where Hayden crashed out a little bit earlier on. No one close enough to make any passing manoeuvres here. At the end of lap 15 it was Hodgson, Walker, Reynolds, we can see them. Mackenzie still fourth from Crawford, his compatriot, in fifth place, and Emmett still in sixth place. So at the top six remaining absolutely stationary at the moment, although the racing certainly isn't stationary.
Yeah, a lot of rubber down on the track there. The bikes where they're driving in like third gear through that corner, it's opening out, you're driving hard through the turn. You see how much rubber where they've all gone sideways. I've
got a feeling back markers are the critical angle here. We've seen a few of them go past the box earlier on. It's just a question of whether these guys catch them in the right or wrong places. Certainly from this section right the way round to the start and finish line, back markers are a major problem when you catch them en masse.
But yeah, it's pretty much line astern. It's not wide, and it's left, right the whole time. So there is no room to get past people.
So then, we're at Hall Bends now. This is the place where you really don't want to catch any back markers, and through the hairpin it is Hodgson in control. He is absolutely magnificent leading a race. Chris Walker, well, he applied the pressure at Knockhill in the second race absolutely superbly and forced Hodgson into a slight mistake, and the slightest of mistake allows Chris Walker through. Then we enter the last lap. Hodgson leads. He will extend his lead to 6 points if he can take this win today. It is only 1 point at the moment. Chris Walker, well, he wants to take the lead in the series. 3 times the bridesmaid. He has been runner-up in this British Championship Series 3 times under various other people, and really he will not want to see Hodgson win it and make him, well, possibly second for a 4th time.
Yeah, Hodgson's on his way back up again through the ranks. So he's had a pretty difficult last year back in British Superbike for the first time, and absolutely both of them are riding so well. It'd be difficult to call who you want to win.
Look at this at the moment. Chris Walker, though, closes in through Chris Curve, appropriately named, but it wasn't after him, it was after Chris Wilkinson, son of Charlie Wilkinson. There you go. Bit more useless information for you about the track. We're at Mansfield Corner now. I don't know why it's called that. We clear off out towards the mountain now, and it is mountain. There is a back marker in the way. Okay, Neil, this is going to test you. Hodgson has got to try and get past him if he can. Chris Walker has got an eye on both of them now. The main chance may come his way. Oh, Walker sideways. That's Dave Redgate, I think 35. Ow, Hodgson's done it perfectly. 35 was indeed Dave Redgate on the Team Carrera Racing Kawasaki. He got between Walker and Hodgson. The blue flags were waving. Dave Redgate really, well, it was unfortunate. Walker shakes his head. It was just unlucky timing. No fault really to Dave Redgate.
And the only opportunity to overtake would have been into the hairpin. We saw how strong Walker was there, so I think that's where he had been planning to do something.
Well, maybe he'll save it for part 2, but part 1, the first Superbike race of the day at Cadwell. Oh, and Hodgson nearly runs off the track while saluting Chris Walker. Dave Redgate gets, well, a bit of a look there from Chris Walker. No doubt about the winner, though. Neil Hodgson, superb. He will celebrate that one for sure. That puts him 6 points in front of Chris Walker and opens up his account here at Cadwell Park. Walker must feel like he was thwarted, though, by the back marker up and over the mountain.
Yeah, he never got given the opportunity to have a go.
Good sportsmanship there, though, between the two of them. Hodgson, the winner. Walker, second. Looking a little dejected there, I must say. I think he's still got a lot of adrenaline running for the second race, that's for certain. Can't wait to see what happens. John Reynolds was third, while Neil Hodgson in front of the INS Ducati Hospitality unit gives him a wave and a wheelie. There it is then, 0.6 of a second belies just how close that really was all through the race. Walker second, Reynolds third, Mackenzie fourth, Crawford fifth, Emmett sixth, Byrne in 7th place, and Paul Young on Ray Stringer's Yamaha in 8th place. David Jeffries on his first ever ride on the Virgin Mobile Yamaha 9th, Plater 10th after putting his chain back on at the top of the mountain. And Gordon Blackley, top privateer in 12th.
Neil's certainly got the hang of pole positions and race wins, and he's getting the celebrations down pretty well now too.
Yeah, great performance then, and there's a bit of information I'm sure he didn't know anything about. Hodgson then, and the adulation of the crowd.
He only made one mistake. He just got a slide going onto the straight, and I think my bike's a little bit faster than his anyway, and I just got the run on him and managed to pass him. And then it was just a case of holding on, really.
And of course that back marker didn't do him any favours at the end, did it?
No, I don't realise what happened, but it's difficult round here. You know, you've got to be a little bit dangerous with some of them. You've got to take a risk to pass them, because if you don't, then they hold you up.
I mean, it wasn't his fault. He didn't know I was there. Neil went through. I mean, it is annoying when it happens like that. My only real chance of passing Neil on the last lap was into the old hairpin. That's where I'd kind of planned to try and have a go if it was possible. And you know, I lost my opportunity to do that. But you know, it's just one of those things. Hopefully, we'll be better in the next one.
It was obviously very difficult to catch up with them, but you just seemed to tail away a bit on the last lap.
had a big moment into park at the end of the straight. I shut off, went into the corner on closed throttle, and the back end just came round on me and only spun me over the handlebars. So I really lost sort of 20-30 yards then, and I wasn't going to get that again.
Can't give anything away in this game then. 6 points the lead between Hodgson and Walker. John Reynolds drops a little further back in third, 15 points between him and Walker. Hayden fourth, Hizzy fifth, Mackenzie sixth, Crawford and Plater seventh and eighth. And the Privateers, a bad day so far for Crockford, only fourth in the race. Well, Heel is closing in, but not as much as Blackley. He had a first place today. As if they'd not burnt off enough aggression, the top three decided to take it out on the fans. Chris set off after a Dave Redgate fan, while Neil and John squirted indiscriminately. It had to happen. An English thunderstorm just before the Supersports rolled onto the grid. Well, the weatherman said sunshine and showers, and for once, he was dead right. One young man who certainly won't worry about the weather is Australia's rising star, Christopher Mullen. And he's got his hands on a plum job for the future. Claire found out why he looked happier than usual.
Well, it's round 9 here at Cadwell Park for the Supersport Championships. And one guy who's certainly made his mark so far this year is Christopher Mullen. And he's not waiting until next year to make his mark on the world scene either. Well, Chris, congratulations. Been drafted up to the world Supersport scene for the last 3 rounds.
I've been got confirmation on Wednesday that I'm going to be riding for the World Castrol team in Assen, Germany, and Brands Hatch for the last 3 rounds of the World Supersport Championship, so it should be good.
Yeah, well, just what we said just before, you certainly have made an impact on these championships so far. Knockhill, you were so impressive. I mean, you don't know any of the circuits here, and particularly there, you were outstanding in the rain, and we can't imagine that you've had too much experience of that either.
No, I haven't had a lot of experience in the rain, but I really enjoy riding there, and I like Knockhill circuit, so I just got on really well, and I enjoyed the race, had a good time, and it was good to come out on top, and with Glenn finishing second, it was really good for the team. So.
Now, you obviously are in main contention for the Superstock title this year. You've got a big workload, quite obviously, coming up in the next few months. Are you going to be able to cope with all that? Yeah,
I think so. We go from here this weekend, hopefully with a good result, so I can pull the championship in a bit. I'm running third on the Superstocks, about 20 odd points behind Matt Llewellyn, who's leading it, and then I go to Assen on the 600, to Germany on the World 600, and then back to Mallory Park for the Superstock and 600 with the Sanyo team. So it's going to be busy.
You are certainly going to be busy. One thing that comes across about you is that, you know, you've got all this pressure being put on you. Everyone's kind of hailing you as the next world champion, and you know you've got a huge workload. It doesn't seem to affect you, and you're only 18. You don't seem to be fazed by any of this.
No, it's not really that bad. I just Barry Sheen's got a lot to do with that. Really, he's helped me for a long time, and it's been really good, and I'm starting to handle the pressure a lot better now, so hopefully things will get bigger and better and I can move on to something really good next year.
Talking of next year, I should imagine the offers have been coming in thick and fast.
Yeah, I've had a few at the moment. There's a few British Superbike teams that have said they're fairly interested, and there's a few world teams sort of talking at the moment, so we'll see what happens, but no, they're the 2 classes I'd really like to get into, either some form of World Championship or British Superbike, so we'll see.
Supersport qualifying saw Jim Moody with a bad case of the flu and an in-form Kirk McCarthy to deal with. Third place on the grid is not what he wanted, and to make things harder, Ducati's Dean Thomas was flying in second place. But they were all chasing McCarthy. At the end of the session, he was nearly half a second faster than anyone.
I was quite surprised actually. I knew we were close after the first session, but I didn't know what was going to happen in the second session, and then we changed a few little things on the bike and made an improvement. So the Honda was working really well, and quite happy with it at the moment.
Kurt McCarthy then in pole position by nearly half a second over Thomas and then Moody. Howard Whitby was fourth. On row 2, it's Gary Mason, Stuart Wickens, Glenn Richards and Steve Brogan. Glenn Richards' teammate was on row 3, Christopher Mullen, with Danny Beaumont, Dave Johnson and Luke Quigley, Mark Heckles, Mark Bird, Dennis Hobbs and Blair Deckerholm on row 4. Yes, just in case you were in any doubt, the organisers declared wet weather rules apply. The riders had a hurried wet session to decide on final settings and tyres, less than ideal.
There are blue skies on the horizon, but a thunderstorm